two orphans, left alone, fend for themselves.
They fall into loving families who join them on their zany adventures on Retro Dojo! This episode of Retro Dojo is brought to you by Masterminds Incorporated. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, you invariably ran across Punky Brewster or Gordon Shumway, a.k.a. ALF, Alien Life Form. And that's what we're going to be talking today. Which was your favorite? Mine was ALF. I was definitely a big ALF fan.
So was I.
Hey, there's a fiber! I got it. Don't worry. Don't worry! They both ran for about 4 seasons in the mid-'80s, and they went into syndication, and of course they probably got reruns, and there were toys and breakfast cereals, and they both had a cartoon spinoff. Punky Brewster's was called It's Punky Brewster, and I think ALF's was just called ALF.
No, it was, what was it? It was,
That's incorrect.
It was,
It was not called, My Life as an Alien.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was called.
And I know, like, Punky Brewster's getting rebooted.
Oh, Project ALF.
No, that was the show.
But that was the cartoon, wasn't it?
No. Oh. No, that was the show they brought out in 96 was Project ALF.
Oh, okay.
And it was because the last
right.
episode of ALF had, like, a cliffhanger ending because they were trying to get NBC to pick them up again.
That's right.
And they didn't. And so Project ALF was supposed to be, like, the 5th season. But none of the Tanners were in it.
Yeah.
It was just ALF.
That's true.
I mean, it wasn't just ALF. Yeah. Just a puppet on a black screen.
Yeah, well, yeah. I did read.
Kill me.
I did read somewhere that one of the directors or producers or something years later even said that they had at least a couple more seasons left in them.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
I was an ALF guy too. I mean, I had the big ALF plush ALF doll. And of course,
I only ate cats when I was 7.
Yes, that's right. But if you guys, that reminds me, if you guys have any pictures, any action figures of both, either from ALF or Punky Brewster, send us some pictures, put them in the comments, because I would love to see those.
That'd be cool.
Reminisce, yeah.
I don't even know if there were Punky Brewster toys. There had to be.
I would think so.
What would it do, though?
I don't know.
It would just be vibrant coat color action. She was super bright and vibrant.
She was.
Back when in the beginning, like the first half of the season when she was just a little girl, she was super bright and vibrant.
That's
Punky
true.
Power!
Yeah, Punky Power!
And all that stuff. But then as she...
Holy macannoli.
Holy macannoli. As she got older, they transitioned the show... Doesn't mean anything. Yeah. They transitioned the show to her, like, growing up, of course, because she would.
Right, yeah, because I didn't think that the last season was her supposed to be in middle school or something, I think.
Yeah, well, she had... Yeah, well, they kind of jumped around because she was with Henry, through the whole show. But then in the second season, they had like a 5-story arc where he got sick and his photography studio burned down.
Oh, yeah.
And so he was in the hospital and she went to go live with somebody else in the building. And of course, they had to have like the hard-nosed social worker.
Yeah.
And he's like, these conditions are unacceptable. Yeah. So wanted to put her back into Fenster Hall, which is where she had to live in the first season when Henry was trying to get to be a foster father. So she went over there, and then, of course, at the end of the 5-story arc, he gets better, and the show is... the show he was on.
Yeah, the show he was on.
Colin Henry in charge.
Picture show.
It was its own show in his imagination.
That's right.
When I was on a show that one time...
That's not how he talked.
Henry comes back, and he gets his photo... studio back, and he opens it in the mall, and it's doing good, and then he adopts her for real at the end of the second season.
Yep.
And then that's when NBC dropped it, because it dropped Punky Brewster and Silver Spoons, because they were going up against 60 Minutes at the time, which is just crushing them in the ratings. So they dropped both shows, but they got picked up in syndication. But then in syndication, Punky Brewster kind of transitioned over towards like into middle school, and then they started introducing boys, and they narrowed the characters down, so there was just like a smaller group. And then Henry, to abbreviate, I guess, Henry's photo studio is doing really good. He gets bought out by like a corporate conglomerate, and they're like, you can manage the store, but he doesn't like it there because they're not listening to him anymore. And then he takes his money and invests in a burger place in the mall called Punky's Place.
I don't remember that part.
So it's kind of like, it's like Roseanne. You remember when Roseanne was always at the house and kind of outside the house, and then she opens the Lanford lunchbox, and then like most of the episodes are in the later little restaurant she's got.
Yeah,
it's kind of the same thing where Alf didn't grow up. Like there was no girl Alfs for him to.
He's a doll, so he's immortal.
He lives forever. There could be only one. Scary. But yeah, he doesn't like his adventures are mostly just how to not get caught and dissected by the government.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that's what that's the whole purpose of that show was. The family is to hide them from the government.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what. And of course, he always wanted to eat the cat. I never got that.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, I read something, and it was something to do with the cat is a delicacy on Mermac.
Yeah, well, there was also kind of a thing in the 80s and 90s where they wanted to give aliens tastes of things that seemed gross to us.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an Alien Nation. You ever watch Alien Nation? All the aliens would drink sour milk, and it got them drunk.
Really?
Yeah. They drink, like, chunky, gross sour milk because it was like alcohol to them because of their alien metabolism.
Oh. That's how they talk?
Yeah. Scary. But I talked most of the time, so you have to say more stuff.
Obviously, you know way more about the Punky Brewster thing than I do.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch Punky Brewster. I didn't
watch it either.
Well, Punky Brewster came out, and I was 1.
My sisters really dug Punky Brewster.
Really?
Yeah. They loved him. I was 8. And my sisters, I think they just liked anything that was bright and colorful. And Punky Brewster was anything if not bright and colorful.
That is true. With little pigtails.
Yeah, great.
Little pigtails.
Super fantastic.
And Alf, I mean, hell, to be honest with you, Alf is used to this day. He was in Young Sheldon. Yeah. There was the plush doll. And I remember watching the episode, Big Bang Theory, and seeing that, and I was like, oh my God, I had one of those.
Yeah, I had an Alf doll.
Yep. He was in a lot of different things throughout the 90s even.
Yep. NBC did I think it was NBC did a 75th anniversary
Yep.
show, and I guess, who was it? Tina Fey? Whoever was in charge of it, I think it was Tina Fey. Was there? No.
Oh.
She said it was super difficult to work with Alf, or Paul Fusco, who is Alf, because Paul Fusco, even during the pilot filming of Alf, was like super secretive about his project. He didn't want anyone involved. It didn't have to be, and he was the same. You never get to see, even the other actors, never get to see Alf not being actively puppeteered.
Yeah. And I also read something to do with he always took matters into his own hands when he was filming. Like, he would change the script around a little bit. And I know I read that most of the actors didn't like working with him because he had all the good jokes.
Would you like a lozenge?
Yes.
Something in my throat. Well, also I know the Max Wright, the guy who played like Mr. Tanner, the dad.
Oh yeah.
He did not like being on the show at all, and would also often get into like yelling matches with people on the show. The set was super dangerous because there's holes all over the place for Paul Fusco to pop up and be like, "I kill me."
Oh God.
That's the only line Alf had in every show. It's just him. "I kill me." And then
that's true.
Credits.
Yep. Credits.
But I remember that was super annoying. It was super annoying. Like, as a kid, you thought it was funny, but can you imagine your parents? Usually they must have gone insane. Between people shouting Punky Power and "I kill me" and then chasing the cat around because Alf was always chasing the cat.
Can you imagine the kids chasing the cats around?
2 pieces of bread.
Son, what are you doing?
Come on, damn it! This boy has psychiatric problems.
Oh, God.
So, but yeah, that show was the most expensive show to produce at the time.
Yep.
I remember that.
Yep.
A lot of the people did not like working with Alf or Paul Fusco, whatever it was, and Paul Fusco was super particular about. I think a thing flew out of my mouth. Ka-choo!
Really?
I don't know.
Flames!
Post-production. Flames?
I don't know.
Sweet.
Dragon.
It's really hard to blow out birthday candles.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paul Fusco was very particular about Alf, and even during the 75th anniversary, I think Tina Fey again, said that he would do his thing, do his bit, and then Alf was immediately put into a suitcase and like escorted out of the building. Like, nobody saw Alf if he wasn't, it wasn't like, and I don't know what Jim Henson was like when he did the Muppets, if the Muppets were all just like lined up and they could go get one, like, "Oh, it'll be Kermit the Frog. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here." That's pretty much exactly what Kermit sounded like.
Oh, yeah. His drunk hillbilly brother.
But, I don't know. That kind of sums it up for ALF and Punky Brewster. They were both good shows. They were both about orphans.
Yep.
That kind of got dropped into the laps of people that weren't expecting them, but ended up really coming to love them and cherish them.
Yeah, that's true. I did hear about a Punky Brewster like remake or something.
Yeah, they're rebooting it.
Yeah, I heard about that. So we'll see how that goes. I mean,
Salil Moonfry. If I maybe said that totally wrong.
Yeah.
Salil Moonfry, if I said that wrong, then you can come down here and correct me. We'll interview you about how exactly to say your name.
Yes, I'm sure she would love to come down here.
Yes.
A couple of nobodies. Woo! It's like, who are you guys? It's people.
Guys doing things, the stuff. But, so, that's what we know about ALF and Punky Brewster. 2 excellent shows from the mid-'80s. And
which one do you like?
Yeah, what do you like the best? Right. Post down in the comments if you have any cereal, toys, pictures of you with ALF, pictures of you with the actual, like with ALF from real life or Punky Brewster from real life, if you had the off chance of getting to meet them.
That would be kind of cool.
This was super fun, revisiting 2 great stories. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications so you will... No, don't tell them where it is. They have to figure it out on their own.
It's not a secret.
It's not a secret. Click the bell for notifications so you get told every single time we drop a video. And we will see you next time on Retro Dojo.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks again to our sponsor, Masterminds Incorporated. If you have a middle grade reader that enjoys thrills and chills, then be sure to check out this series in print, on your Kindle, or as an audiobook. Look, I can superimpose the road. I'm running incredibly fast.
Oh, God.